Hey everyone, it's Mitch Tram here. Today we're going to take a look at the internals of a 13 Fishing Inception baitcasting reel and the internals of a Kastking Royale Legend reel. I've already got them taken apart and broken down, so now we're just going to kind of take a look at the different pieces and what they look like. This is the spool on the 13 Fishing. See, there's a bearing there, and then there's the braking system. And it looks pretty much like any other spool. It does tell you the line size right there. And then here is the side plate with the bearing in it. Now the handle here, this is the handle. And the knobs come off, and when the knob comes off, you can get to the little bearing to replace the bearing if you needed to. So these little screws right here unscrew on the 13 Fishing. And I know they can be replaced with like some hop-up kits. I'm not sure exactly what they call them, but basically you can change the colors and things like that. There's your drag star, and then the washers with the clicker, your tensioning knob, and then here's the side panel. And in the side panel you have your anti-reverse bearing and you have your regular bearing. Then, as we get further in, we have our drag system. So I'm just going to show you what that looks like right here. There's our drag system. One of the drag washers, the felt drag washer, so stainless steel, felt, aluminum gear, and then under the aluminum gear we have one carbon fiber washer. So that's the drag system on the 13 Fishing. And it has these Japanese cut gears, as they call them, and this one is aluminum. That mates up to, whoops, dropped it there, that's okay. That mates up to the brass pinion gear. So the 13 Fishing has a brass pinion gear. And then there are the rest of the internals of the 13 Fishing. You can see there's a couple plastic gears in there that drive the worm on the front of it. So those are the internals on the 13 Fishing. Now let's take a look at the internals on the Kastking. So here is the spool on the Kastking Royale Legend. You can see there's a bearing there. And then here's the side plate. See the magnets in there, both the centrifugal braking system and the magnetic braking system. And there's the knob for the magnetic, the pins for the centrifugal. Then we get to the handle. So the handle looks similar to the 13 Fishing handle with the EVA grips and what looks like knobs that you can take off, but I assure you can't take these off. If you look at it, I tried and they do not come off. You can see how I have chipped both ends of them trying to unscrew them. So the handles do not come off, or the knobs do not come off of the handle. And here's the drag star. And then you have one washer independent of the washers within the clicker. Actually, two washers independent of the washer within the clicker. This is the piece, just like on the 13 Fishing, that goes down, and as you tighten your drag you get that clicking sound. That's what that provides. And then there is your spool tensioner, and then we have our side panel. Very similar. There is a spring in there where we didn't see a spring inside the 13 Fishing. I don't know if you can kind of see that spring there. And then we have our anti-reverse bearing and our handle bearing. And then we get to the drag system. So the drag system is definitely different. You can see it right here. So you have a metal washer, carbon fiber, metal washer, carbon fiber, metal washer, carbon fiber. Then you have the gear, and it's a brass gear in this reel, and then one more carbon fiber. So this reel has 17.5 pounds of drag, where the 13 Fishing has 15. And then we look at the rest of the internals here. So you do have a brass gear right here, just like on the 13 Fishing for the pinion gear. And you do have plastic gears here driving the worm, just like you do on the 13 Fishing. So very similar looking. So overall, the internals are somewhat similar. The drag is definitely different. Remember, the 13 Fishing has the one carbon fiber drag washer right here, the small carbon fiber, and then I believe this is a felt washer, compressed felt like we used to see on a lot of the older reels. Not that it's bad, it's just different. So overall, internals, quality-wise, from a look standpoint, are similar. And you could argue that the Kastking has a better drag system. And as far as the gears are concerned, you know, we have one aluminum and one brass. The aluminum one is thicker, which you would probably expect because aluminum is a softer metal, so you need more surface touching on the gears to maintain that, I would think. Overall, you know, you be the judge. What do you think? Price for performance, it's hard to beat the Kastking. You just can't hardly touch it. It casts just as good as the 13 Fishing, no doubt. As far as smoothness, as far as the ability to reach distance, it's got great distance. They both cast very far, they both cast very smoothly. The drag systems on both of them are very smooth. So in all honesty, very comparable reels. Alright guys, so that's the internals of the 13 Fishing and the Kastking. So 13 Fishing Inception, Kastking Royale Legend. If you like my videos, subscribe to my channel and like them. Alright guys, y'all have a good day. Thanks.